Hey, it's Tori, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing the new Nightwish album, Human Nature. It came out last Friday, and I personally decided not to go ahead and react to each individual song by them and just compose myself at the end of the week and give you guys a review type thing. I have written a script for myself because this isn't my usual content and I'm a little nervous putting myself out there, and those of you that have been with me know that I am not very technical. I don't know any musical terms or that side of things. I enjoy music as a whole and I can tell you how it makes me feel. So I have also been a Nightwish fan for an extremely long time. 2004 I first discovered them when Nemo came out, as some of you guys know. So I am happy that I did take the time to sit back and relax and just take it all in for myself after 5 years of waiting for new material from them. It was just a special moment I needed for myself, and you'll probably understand why as I discuss more into the songs and stuff. So I am primarily going to talk about the human side of the album, CD1, because I feel the nature side, CD2, with it being just mostly symphonic, orchestral type stuff, I don't really think I should really delve that deeply into it because music is very subjective, and what I would like about that side of the album, you guys might not. The one song that did stick out to me was Aurora, and it is the shortest song part on that part of the album, but for me that is the one that as I let that album play through, it's the one that I find myself going back and repeating over and over again. I enjoy how it sounds. So let's just dive right into Human Nature with the first song, which is of course Music. Now this song hit me hard, super hard. And don't forget, those of us that weren't new to Nightwish or haven't just recently discovered them have been waiting for new stuff for about 5 years now. I think that was Endless Form's Most Beautiful was released 2015. So yeah, 5 years that we've been waiting. I know other bands have been waiting longer, but it's a long time still. So as soon as that song started playing, I got to minute 210. I wrote little notes on each song, and I got to minute 210 and I was already beginning to tear up, and eventually I just full on let it go. I was a mess. I love how the song has that long intro that builds you up with the first primordial sounds and going more into the tribal chant before starting with the actual song. I think that it definitely leads a bit more of a punchier side when the actual song hits you. Every time I listen to this song, it gives me full on all over body goosebumps. Flora's vocals are just absolutely beautiful, as are the harmonies in the chorus by Marco, Troy, and Floor. This song, it really does sum up perfectly how I feel about music in general. And those that are close to me, like friends, family, do know that I'm constantly listening to something. It doesn't matter what it is or what I'm doing. I always have this headset on because it's Bluetooth, and I just walk around my house listening to music all the time. So like I said, this song hit me so hard that I had to get up and take a 5-minute breather. It was late, it was about 7 o'clock my time, and the sun was setting out in my backyard, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to put a picture here so you can see, but it was, I needed that breather. I needed the 5 minutes. My husband was sat next to me on the sofa, and he will tell you how much, like, how teary-eyed I got. And music isn't even my favorite song from the album. It is in my top 3, but it's not my favorite. So that perfectly leads us on to song number 2, which is Shoemaker. I am glad that the band decided to release those little introductory videos to each song, like as we were counting down the days to the album release. Floor's little video did discuss who Shoemaker was about, Gene Shoemaker, and so I managed to, you know, research who he was, and then when I heard this song and the lyrics, it made a lot of sense, and it was more relatable knowing who he was as a person. I'd only just managed to come down from crying on music, and then of course you all know what happens at the end of Shoemaker. Those absolutely insanely gorgeous operatic vocals from Floor. Just, I was done. It definite Floorgasm for me. So insanely powerful and beautiful. Just her singing with the choir, and her singing the part Laudato Si, and the choir singing the Ad Astra. It was gorgeous. It was kind of like a Ghost Love score moment for me. Like, that song, as soon as I heard that song, I knew it would be a favorite for a very, very long time, and it has been my favorite song, period. It's still my favorite song, period, but Shoemaker, definitely up there. And that goes to say that this is my favorite song on the album, but it is tied with another song that I can't place either Shoemaker or this other one in first or second. They're joint for me. So that leads us on to Pan. Now, Pan is the song that Empu said was, like, he called it pancake because I guess his hand cramped when he was recording it in studio. He said it was super hard for an old man to play. This does definitely feel like an older Nightwish type song, like it would have fit perfectly on Once, I think. It's very symphonic and it's very heavy, and Floor really shows how versatile she is in this song, I think. Like, she has her normal register, and then she does those really super nice lows. And again, the chorus was a 3-part harmony with Floor, Marco, and Troy. And I'm really enjoying how the band, well, how two of us decided to do that and utilize these voices that way. It's different, but I really love it. The part that truly amazed me the most in this song was that little tongue twister Floor sang. Beautiful tragedy, wonderful fantasy. It makes me wonder how many times she had to practice that to get it right on the studio recording, and if she'd be able to do it live. So I think Pan was a song very much about storytelling and stories in general. I feel it had links to, like, Pan's Labyrinth, for example. And that moves us now on to How's the Heart. Now, How's the Heart, like, I love the subject matter and what it's about, but the song itself, the melody and everything, it didn't grab me as much as the others have so far. It did take a few listens for it to settle with me, and comparing it to other songs of that nature, like Our Decades in the Sun. I prefer that one, though if I do keep listening to it, like, I don't hate it, I don't think it's a bad song at all, it's just not up there for me, and that's completely fine. You know, like I said earlier, music is subjective, and what you like I may not like, and I do love the meaning behind it. I mean, they're literally asking somebody, how is your heart? And that's beautiful. So onto Procession. Again, this one didn't really grab me at first. It took a few listens, but you know, I do love it now. What blew me away on this song the most was from minute 240 to 259. Flora's higher operatic tone right there was just absolutely gorgeous. And then onto Tribal. This song, I love this song. I love how brutally and dirtily heavy it is. I love Flora's harsh vocals on that third verse. The heavy riff that keeps coming back in. You can't help but to headbang along to it. You really can't. Then the damn tribal growling, grunting noises they do that in the music video has the skeleton dance that everybody loves. That, I love that. Like, I find myself like skipping back to that part of the song and re-listening to it to the end again. And I did watch somebody's reaction, and yes, I still watch reactions. It's what made me start my channel, and I still like to watch other reactors reacting to the bands that I like. And they said they found it cheesy, but I really didn't at all. I think it made the song what it is. And then of course Kai said he had to add 5 more drums to the set to do that little part, the drum solo part near the end, and I adore that too. So this, along with Shoemaker, they are my top 2 songs, and they're both so different, but both just grabbed me, and they are the ones that I tend to lean most to on the album. I mean, I have been letting it play from beginning to end because I think that's how the album deserves to be played. I don't think you should just play it willy-nilly here and there. Like, it does have a good flow to it. And so finally we have Endlessness. This song to me doesn't feel as strong as the other Marco songs we've gotten in the past, like Just While Your Lips Are Still Red, The Islander, Master Passion Greed, you know, and all the covers that they've done, High Hopes for example. They feel a little better for me, but I do love how Marco sounds here. I just think I'll need to keep, like, I've listened to this album so many times I've lost count now, but there's just some songs that you just need to keep listening and keep listening for them to just sink, you know. And I think his vocals in the beginning during the verses sound very much, they remind me of Scaretale from Imaginarium when he comes in on that song. And I do enjoy the chorus and how they prolong the words when they're singing the chorus, because I think it really fits with the theme of the song, obviously, the endlessness, endless words that you're saying. And there we have it. Those are my thoughts on this album. Like I said, I am not technical, I'm not musical. They're just what I picked up from it, from listening to it for a lot. This album actually really grabbed me from the beginning. I saw a lot of reviews and people say that they thought it required a few listens over for it to really sink in and grab you, but for me it grabbed me right away. Endless Forms Most Beautiful was the album that for me that I had to keep listening to. Like, I didn't hate any songs on it, it was different, and I had to keep listening to it. And my actual favourite song on there is Weak Fantasy, and I think that's one of the heavier ones. But I think this album is definitely a lot more cinematic in the way that it's been composed, and I think Tuomas is a musical genius. Any album he's put out so far, I've loved. I don't think there's even any songs I particularly dislike from Nightwish. There are obviously those that are like way down on my list and those that are way high on my list, but they have such a huge wide range of songs and styles that it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I really enjoyed this album, and I cannot wait for this virus stuff to be over with so that they can start planning their tours again and I can get VIP and I can go see them and see how these songs all sound live and which ones they will play, because I've heard rumors now that they're not going to play Shoemaker, and I don't know if that's true or if that's just somebody starting, like I said, rumors. And yeah, if you guys want to stick around for the next two videos, I am going to be doing Favorite Fridays with Shoemaker and Tribal. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I don't know if I'll do it for other bands because, I mean, Nightwish is obviously my favourite band. They have been for a long time. If you guys have any other songs or bands that you'd like me to check out, please comment them down below. Don't forget to like or dislike It's a Free World and subscribe. I am on social media. It's at It's a Me Tori on Facebook and Instagram. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Rock on!